Many times the interest is more political. What the Pope says about one issue or another, why he does not judge a government in one country or another, and there are many things to say. Certainly, I have spoken about justice and there are important themes there, but that is not the first word. The journey must above all be interpreted as an expression of the desire to proclaim the gospel, to announce the message of Jesus Christ. It is a way of drawing close to people in their happiness, in the depth of their faith, but also in their suffering. At times, it is necessary to make comments or try to encourage people themselves to take responsibility for their lives. It is also important to speak with heads of state, perhaps to encourage a change of mentality or a greater openness to thinking about the common good of the people, including issues such as the distribution of a country's resources. In the meetings we had, we addressed a bit of everything. But above all, it was about encountering the people with enthusiasm. I am very happy about the entire journey, about living, accompanying, and walking with the people of Equatorial Guinea. I would like to begin by saying that we must promote a new cultural attitude toward peace. Too often, when we evaluate certain situations, the immediate response is violence, war, attack. And what we have seen is that many innocent people have died. I have just seen a letter, perhaps you have seen it, written by some children and families of children who died on the first day of the attack. They speak about how they have lost their sons and daughters, the children who died. And I say, whether there is a regime change or not, the real question is how to promote the values we believe in without the death of so many innocent people. The issue of Iran is clearly very complex. The negotiations that are being attempted, one day the United States says no, then the opposite. We do not know where this is heading. This has created a chaotic and critical situation for the global economy, but also there is an entire population in Iran. Innocent people who are suffering because of this war. Whether there will be a regime change or not is unclear. After the first days of attacks by Israel and the United States against Iran, the situation remains uncertain. What I would rather do is encourage the continuation of dialogue for peace, that all parties involved participate and make every effort to promote peace rather than the threat of war. It is very important that international law be respected, that innocent people be protected, and this has not been the case in many places. I carry with me a photo of a Muslim child who, during a visit to Lebanon, was there waiting with a sign saying, "Welcome, Pope." And then, in this latest phase of the war, he was killed. There are so many human situations like this, and I believe we must learn to think in this way. As a church, I say again, as a pastor, I cannot be in favor of war. I would like to encourage everyone to make efforts to seek solutions that come from a culture of peace, not from hatred and division. Clearly, the issue of migration is very complex and affects many countries, not only Spain, not only Europe or the United States. It is a global phenomenon. So, my response begins with a question. What is the global North doing to help the global South? Or those countries where young people today do not see a future and therefore live with that dream? Everyone wants to go north, but very often the North does not have an answer or the ability to offer real opportunities. Many suffer from issues of human treatment, trafficking, and so on, also within migration. Personally, I believe that a state has the right to set rules for its borders. I am not saying that everyone should enter in any way without order, creating situations that are sometimes more unjust in the place where they arrive than those they left behind. But having said that, I ask, what are we doing in the richer countries to change the situation in poorer ones? And why can we not seek solutions? Through state aid, as well as through investments from large, wealthy multinational companies, to improve conditions in countries like those we have visited on this trip. For many people, Africa is seen as a place where one can go to extract minerals and wealth for the benefit of other countries. And I would say that, perhaps at a global level, we need to work much harder to promote greater justice and equality in the development of these African countries, so that there is no need to migrate to places like Spain. The other point I want to make is that, in any case, these are human beings, and we must treat human beings in a humane way, not treating them worse, as often happens, even worse than household pets or animals. So there is indeed a very great challenge. Even if a country says, we cannot receive more, when people arrive, they are human beings and deserve the respect that every human being deserves because of their human dignity. I very much wish to visit several countries in Latin America as well. So far, nothing has been confirmed. We will see. Various journalists working. Journalist. You have spoken on this trip about how people hunger and thirst for justice. It was just reported this morning that Iran has executed yet another one of the members of the opposition, and this comes, as it has been said, that the regime has also publicly hanged multiple other people as well as murdered thousands of its own people. Do you condemn these actions? And do you have any message for the Iranian regime? I condemn all actions that are unjust. I condemn the taking of people's lives. I condemn capital punishment. I believe that human life is to be respected and that all people from conception to natural birth, life should be respected and protected. So when a regime or a country takes decisions which takes away the lives of other people unjustly, then obviously that is something that should be condemned.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.